Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss Turning Red, featuring the voices of Rosalie Chiang, Sandra Oh, Ava Morse, Ian Park, Maitreya, something like that, Ramakrishnan, and Orion Lee, directed by Dome Shi. Now, I have seen this before on Disney Plus before I ever reviewed this movie, so let's see how this goes. And will this be any good? Let's get into it. The year is 2002, and 13-year-old Malin Lee, voiced by Rosalie Chiang, tries to honor her parents Ming, voiced by Sandra Oh, and Jin, voiced by Orion Lee, almost too much to the point that she never asks for anything, which is her life. And when she's at school, she hangs out with her friends Miriam, voiced by Ava Morse, Abby, voiced by Hyen Park, and Priya, voiced by Maitreya Ramakrishnan. And they love a band called Four Town, and she acts disobedient towards her parents behind their back with them around, without taking advantage of her, as it's going to be all about Malin's idea. And she gets home from school and works for her mother somewhere in, I think, Chinatown, in somewhere Canada, I think, next to the house, where she dresses up like a red panda, which is something that she'll turn into later in the film. And I like the characters, but as far as recent Pixar goes, it's probably the weakest one I've seen in the past 4 years. I like Soul better than this, in my opinion. I'm just gonna say it. Malin has dinner with her parents and hears Four Town is going to be in North America, in their neighborhood, somewhere, and afterhand, and she draws a 17-year-old boy named Devin who works at a store clerk, and her bully Tyler sees what Ming has done, and the animation is good, but so far the story is a little stiff at times, in my opinion. Malin wakes up as she turns into a red panda, which looks kind of cute, but at the same time, unfortunately, these are the weakest scenes, and it's supposed to be the plot of the movie, which is a shame, while she works on being calm, and so she doesn't turn into that red panda, finding out she can change back into human, and this story is unfortunately pretty stiff. Tyler tells everyone about Malin and Devin being a couple, as Malin is acting weird and not like herself, while her mother is outside the school spying on her as she turns into the red panda in front of her. Not just Ming, but in front of Miriam and the girl in the bathroom, seeing her, which was funny. How Malin pushes her in the stall and runs outside and causes accidents, while Ming goes after her. And this is predictable, and I'm afraid it is. I'm afraid it is. And is this movie predictable? Yes, it is. Come on. Jin says the red panda thing happened before, as Ming explains how her family members, as well as their ancestors, have turned into red pandas, and tells the origin of how it happened in the beginning of time, as she has to wait for a month to get cured from this curse. So is this great acting from Pixar? No, because they've done better than this. Miriam, Abby, and Priya come to visit Malin, as they tell her Four Town is coming to the town of Toronto next month, which is where they live, and exposes herself as the red panda, and she cries until they cheer her up with one of Four Town's songs, and have no choice but to leave it during the day, and they test her temper and how cute kittens are, and thinks about her love of her friends, while that very night, Malin asks if she can go to the Four Town concert, but unfortunately, Ming says no, and keeps calm, and Ming gets a call from her mother about Malin being on the news, and she and her aunts come to Toronto, and this is a mediocre storytelling movie, in my opinion. Malin throws a dodgeball at Tyler for PE class, and she goes to the bathroom with her friends, and a few girls come in the bathroom and get an idea for how to make money for the concert by taking photos of her as the red panda, and as well as merchandise. And almost the entire month goes by, and they hear one of the songs Four Town going on, and it is annoying, in my opinion, that one song. And I know I wouldn't put it on my phone by any means, and my music choices. They hang out on steps on the football field as Tyler spies on them and wants to invite the red panda to his birthday party, and she charges $200. And the day comes when she has to go to Tyler's birthday party and is almost on the way until Ming forces herself to come with her, and the grandmother and aunts come by for a visit and have dinner with them, while Miriam and Abby and Priya are stranded for the birthday party. And Malin eventually goes to bed and to the party as she learns Fort Town will be in their town sooner than what they're supposed to. And eventually Ming finds out as she's gone to Tyler's house, and Malin throws her friends under the bus because Ming blames them on in the first place, and they decide to go to the concert without Malin as at first, and this is becoming an okay film while it is predictable. The day comes and Miriam, Abby, and Priya get to the concert while Malin is doing the ritual to cure herself from the red panda led by Mr. Gao, and she gets ready as Jin sees the camera, and Malin wanted to go to the concert, and she learns Jin has seen Ming's red panda as its giant, and the ritual begins with the red panda almost out of Malin's body, and she decides to keep it as well as going to the concert to join her friends. And she runs there as the red panda, and she gets there from then to human, and Miriam almost doesn't forgive her when she arrives until she convinces her. And as it turns out, Tyler is at the concert, and they stand together until Ming arrives as she turned into a red panda, interrupting the concert. And trust me when I say this, she's ginormous. And Malin and her friends, as well as Jin and her family, come to the stadium to battle off against Ming, and keeping her calm at the same time as music can cure her with the ritual led by Mr. Gao. And it does work while we see the grandmother and the aunts are all red pandas, and the ritual cures Ming as well as the others, and things go back to normal as Malin works with her family at the same time as hang out with her friends and continues to transform into the red panda. And credits roll to an after credits scene with Jin listening to Fort Town, and the climax was predictable and messy at the same time as I was having a hard time with it. Now it's time for my rating. I'll give this movie a 5.8 out of 10. I do like the characters, but as far as recent Pixar goes, this may be the weakest one with Lightyear. I've seen. This and Lightyear are the weakest ones I've seen for the past 4 years, and the animation is good, but the story was a little stiff at times, in my opinion. While Malin turns into the red panda, it actually looks kind of cute, but at the same time, unfortunately, they were the weakest scenes, and it's supposed to be the plot of the movie, which is a shame. And the movie is predictable, as Pixar could have done better with the story than this. The songs are kind of annoying, and Pixar can make great films, as the last one, in my opinion, was Soul, as this is a mild recommendation. So, yeah, it's not the best thing they've done. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining me, and until whenever I get to Luca, because that's going to be coming up, let's stay calm and not turn into the red panda.